A wonderful day to you all, and welcome to the Complete Sports Updates. This show where the latest and trending stories in the world of sports are brought to you. My name is Abib Kuranga. Joining me on today's episode is the wonderful and amazing Adeboye Amusu. Together, we shall be taking you through the rounds as far as sporting stories in today's episode is concerned. Welcome to the show, boy. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. Good to be back on this amazing show once again.
Absolutely. It always feels good to be back on the Complete Sports Update. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have set a semi-final stage with the Atlas Lions of Morocco in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. And right here on Complete Sports Update, we shall review the 2-0 victory over the Desert Foxes of Algeria, as Eric Chelle finally found a lasting and long-term solution to the midfield. And can the Super Eagles of Nigeria create a new goal-scoring record in the history of the competition? Well, these are some of the topics we shall be taking a look at in this edition. So, boy, welcome to the show once more.
Thank you.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria have actually taken the AFCON, by storm, which not so many people actually expected of them. And the quarterfinal, where they actually won and sealed a 2-0 victory over the Desert Foxes, which you rightly predicted. Congratulations to you, by the way. So let's hear your thoughts on the very game which Nigeria actually won.
I was actually thinking you will forget my predictions.
I can never.
Last week, I predicted rightly that the Super Eagles will roll over the Desert Forces of Algeria 2-0. Not even about the scoreline, but it was about the performance of the team. You know, the Super Eagles, they just keep getting better game by game at this tournament. It has been a roller coaster ride for the Super Eagles so far. Second consecutive clean sheet. Don't forget, they also beat Mozambique 4-0 at the round of 16 stage. So it was a good performance from the guys, from Osai Samuel to Alessi Iwobi, Ademola Lookman, Jeromako Adams, and the top man, the talisman, Victor Osimhen. Where it was a wonderful thing from the Super Eagles. One just hope they can continue from there, going to the semi-final against the host Morocco.
Absolutely. So, one of the major talking points since the beginning of the tournament, let me just say since match day 2 of the competition against Tunisia, is actually the midfield. And, taking a look at that, it was actually normally two-man midfield where we have the partnership of Ndidi and Alex Iwobi, not until when Coach Eric Chelle actually introduced Frank Onyeka into the starting lineup. And, ever since then, it has been, somewhat of compact, the midfield setup. It will be focusing more on the attack, with, that pressure to defend, drastically reducing with the inclusion of Frank Onyeka in the midfield setup. So, looking at this, with the kind of solidity that it has actually brought into the team. So, do you think Coach Eric Chelle have actually cracked the code in terms of, looking forward a long-term solution to the midfield?
One thing about international football is the fact that for a coach, you always find it difficult to spend more time with your team. When Eric Chelle came in, it was in January 7th, 2004. Everybody was talking about the World Cup qualifier then, whether the Super Eagles were able to salvage the situation following their poor start to the qualifiers. But unfortunately, they couldn't really. They were able to make it to the playoff. This AFCON has afforded the coach. It has given him more time opportunity to spend more time with his players, and he is getting to know them better and better by the day. And for the fans and pundits, we are getting to see the results. Everybody talk about, even when Iwobi was criticized at the last AFCON, I remember Coach Jose Peseiro saying he had a special role for the guy, which limited his performance as a playmaker in the team. When you see Iwobi in the Super Eagles and see Iwobi in Fulham, you always wonder why he couldn't really replicate the same kind of performance with Fulham, with the Super Eagles. But with him, it's like he's having a free role here with Ndidi Franco Yeka doing the dirty job. You know, most of the Super Eagles attack, everybody's talking about at least, we are talking about Ademola Lookman, Ako, and Osimhen. But one beautiful thing about this team is go and look at all the matches. Go and look at he always add the pre-assist before the main assist itself. Yeah. So for me, he will be as being the main man behind the team's success. So kudos to Coach Eric Chelle for at least finding a way around the team and getting the best out of Iwobi.
Absolutely. So hence the name Iwobino.
Yeah, you're right.
So now let's look at the team proper. Well, one thing that I've actually stand out with this team is the goals that they've actually scored so far. They've scored 14, and they're on course of creating or equaling the goal scoring record in the competition's history, and that actually belongs to Ivory Coast. They scored 16 in the 2008 edition of the competition, which was hosted by Ghana, if I'm not wrong. And now they've actually scored 14 to, just 2 to equal the record and 3 to surpass the record. So going by how the Eagles have actually, taken this competition by storm. So do you see them, equaling or even surpassing the goal scoring record, which is currently held by Côte d'Ivoire?
Well, it's a difficult task for them. If you look at their semi-final opponent, when you are playing against the host, it's always difficult. You play against the fans, most times against officiating too. So one can just hope that the officiating against the host will be fair this time around. Unlike what we saw in the last edition. When they played against the Ivory Coast. Yes. I believe in the Super Eagles attack, you understand. One thing I'm looking forward to see is how the Moroccans were able to cut out Alex Iwobi out of the game, because he has been the brain behind most of the goals for me. Yeah. So if they are not able to do that, and the strikers, talking about Lookman, Ako, and if they put on their scoring boots that day, we might see them break the record. Don't forget, we still have 2 games left, so it's doable, but it's going to be a pretty difficult task at this stage of this tournament. One can't really rule out the Super Eagles at this stage. They've performed against all expectations. Yeah. Nobody gave them the chance to at least make it to the semi-final. Talk less of, what they call champagne football. That's what they have served us at this tournament. So we just hope that we can get more of champagne football in the semi-final against the host.
Yes, another one, champagne football. Just, he has actually coined another one, champagne football. So we do hope that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will, entertain us, not only in the semi-finals, but also we do have the belief and hope that they are going to, take one to the final as well. So let's hear your thoughts on the, game against the host nation, as well as your prediction.
Okay, yeah, I will predict 3-1 in favor of the Super Eagles. I know some people might be thinking, what is this guy smoke before coming to the studio today? But I actually, I'm a Super Eagles fans. If I may put it that way. I'm an optimist. I always believe in the team. Even when people don't believe they can do it. I'm going for 3-1, like I said earlier. I know it will be a difficult task, but I know the Super Eagles will weather the storm and make us proud. It's going to be difficult, but I trust Eric Chelle and his boys to deliver on the field.
Absolutely. I think the Super Eagles of Nigeria, if they should actually come to pass, they need to, kind of, find you and, confer you, title, maybe Mr. Octopus or Mr. Just give you, a befitting title regarding it, because
maybe a part of their winning bonus.
Okay, that one too is allowed. So thank you very much, Aboye, for the wonderful and insightful analysis as always on Complete Sports Update. So viewers, this will be wrapping things up as far as proceedings in today's episode is concerned. Do well to like, share, subscribe, and comment as far as this episode is concerned. Do take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.